Hey parents and kids, it's Miss Godwin. I miss you guys. Another week out of school and I just couldn't stand it any longer. I know that I've given you some resources on my webpage, but I felt like I needed to take it one step further and do some video lessons that maybe your kids could watch this week to kind of keep them in the zone of learning. And this is one of the weeks that I really love teaching. The unit that I normally do around this time is apples, an apple unit. And the reason why I do it around this time period is because John Chapman's birthday was on September the 26th. Now, some of you parents might be like, well, who's John Chapman? I'm not sure who that is. But maybe you would know him better by his nickname. His nickname was Johnny Appleseed. And we normally do this apple unit around his birth date. And so one of the things I would like to encourage you parents to do, if you have internet access, go online and Google with your child John Chapman or Johnny Appleseed. There are lots of great book read-alouds that you can use to help your child be introduced to this historical figure. There's also videos, and there's some games and things that you can maybe find that deal with apples and with John Chapman or Johnny Appleseed. So that is one resource that I would like to kind of throw out there to you. I wish that I could read some aloud to you this way by the video, but all of my books are at school and I'm not allowed to get into the classroom. So we're just going to have to rely on the internet, or if you can get to the library. The local library I know has lots of children's books dealing with Johnny Appleseed or about apples in general. So take a trip to the library this week. And when we come back to school, whenever that is, hopefully next week, but we'll see, I would love for your children to teach me what they learned during their week out of school about this historical figure. But right now, I wanted to kind of tell you what we're going to be doing during these videos. And I'm going to post several different ones. They're all going to be activities dealing with apples. I went to the grocery store today and I bought apples. Normally, if we were in the classroom, I would have had every child bring in their favorite apple. So we would have had 25 apples, and normally the children bring in different types. And so we would sort them. We would sort them by color. We would sort them by size. We would talk about their likenesses and their differences, and we would do some taste testing. So at home, if you have an apple, you can use that apple for some of the things that we're going to be doing. Or if you're going to be making a trip to the grocery store, you can buy a few apples yourself. I bought a variety, so I have green, I have red, I have red and yellow. I have one that is kind of more yellow than red. So I bought a variety, and that way I could kind of talk to the kids during these videos about those likenesses and differences. We're also going to be doing some art projects, and one of the art projects that we're going to be doing is going to require an adult, not a child, but an adult, to cut an apple for the child. So please make sure that you're not letting your children look at this video on their own, because I would not want them to go into the kitchen and get a knife to do something on their own. So parents, please make sure that you're kind of supervising these activities. I'd really appreciate that. So apples, you're going to need a cutting board and a knife for one of the activities that we're going to be doing. We're also going to be using some finger paint. So basically we're going to be using red and green and yellow. So we might use a little bit of white. We might use some blue for another activity. I don't know yet, but if we get to it. So Finger paint is something that we're also going to be using. I am going to be using some Play-Doh for some activities, crayons, some paper like construction paper, and also if you have some writing paper or just some plain white paper for your child to use, because the activities are going to also revolve around writing and reading. I want to touch on all of those things because I know that those are skills that they need to be learning in these first few weeks of school that they're actually missing. We're also going to be talking about our sight words. I'm going to be reviewing the 4 first sight word lists because this is going to be our 4th week out of school. So I don't want them to get behind on those sight words. So as you watch these videos, you can play one a day, or if you want to do them all together, that's fine. But I just wanted to make sure that my kiddos are getting what they need because I want the best for them. And no hurricane is going to stop us from doing that, right? Right. Okay, so just hang in there with me. The first video is going to be next. Thanks.